product line. In front of that thing, this is called a lamp. This is a lamp working capital, and all the lamp workers that started the thing here came from East Germany, including my father, and they came, most of them came as thermometer makers. So these guys had it down to make an ultra precise measuring stick in the 50s, mercury charged, and measure anything and everything you can imagine. My great-grandfather had these alcohol meters, super precise. Barometer, hydrometer, pycnometer, aerometer. They made the wildest things from glass that could measure something. This breaks 1 centigrade in 100. You can set it on the temperature up a grade, 1 degree in 100, a hundredths of a centigrade. In the 50s with that acid etch scale. This is why I'm born here. This is why they all came here in the American sector. Soda and put some arsenic trioxide and manganese in the mixture and cooked it and invented the most temperature change ability glass ever. Like hot, cold, cold, hot. More heat resistant than any other before. He named it Pyrex. What a smart name, huh? Cheers on that guy. This is the greatest British invention that was ever made. Cheers. Every nurse in the world know it, you know, made in Western Germany, Corning, New York. This is why I'm born here, and so this industry swapped here. So definitely still taught at school, called the glass instrument maker. They teach you how to make different glass instruments. I mean, come on, you all know. And you check that little sprinkler cap here. And this is how you measure temperature now. 75 Fahrenheit, centigrade, 24, quite hot. I haven't even started my torch. So this is a lamp working town. We buy a tube in, make laboratory apparatus. Now the thermometer kind of dead, video killed the radio star, digital age kicked in the India, even the nurses, no more bending over, disaster. That's when I graduated from school 41 years ago, laboratory apparatus school. I was 16. Had to take every single class they teach. I'm a local guy from my great-grandfather was the king of precision. Max. I named my son, you know, the 8th generation after my great-grandfather. So when I walked home from school, I was one of these guys. It was a good one, I could do it. The local ones were a little better than the ones from out of town. The best ones that I always liked the most were the eyeball blowers. Watching you making somebody an eyeball, you know, somebody who lost the eye. And it's called the human eyeball blower. And this is the greatest skills you can ever gather in front of the torch. And they use such a small amount of glass and they make 100 eyeballs from one stick like glass, and I was making maybe 1 apparatus from 1 stick of glass. And I needed a couple sticks to shove them into each other and build my stuff. This is the greatest you can ever get down and learn at school, called the human eyeball maker. 8 years to that flame working school. Yes, man, don't laugh. This is so satisfying when you can make a kid shine again and you give him self-esteem back. And I had it sold to Bavaria, Munich.
I wonder if he's related to
This is a little strange, you know, here with that thing. I need normally a little lighter. And I'm sure there's a lighter in my thing. Normally I don't carry a lighter on me. There should be one in there. Unbelievable. So, got it on. It's called the lamp, it's fired on gas, and it used to be an oil lamp. Now we have oxygen, the blue flame. A little pressure. Pressure needs to be set okay. I need to check it all the time. It's a little danger. It's not so undangerous. Pilot flame too big. That's how we do it all in this town. Everybody of the 20,000 people do it this way. Or stick long tubes, more than 10 feet long tubes, super clean and very precise, manufactured in a tube factory, stick them in machines, and take the little vials and vaccine bottles off. or sprinkler caps for Tyco, Wheaton, Corning, Jones Mansell, our biggest employer, Corning Fiber, Schott, Duran, a group of all of them, the Hard Glass Group, borosilicate. This is town. And taught us how to close that bloody box down again the right way. Every time we put one out. And we started small, and it repeats for every single diameter of the tube you're going to use for your product line. Your final product tells you what tube you buy. I can buy them in Wertheim to 560 millimeter. They put them in a lace and make that little Liebig condenser. It makes it a schnapps. They make big schnapps, also. In these chemical factories. This is done huge in Wertheim. So you do it on a torch to a certain size, then you do it this way. There's no other way. This is the way. End piece. We wouldn't waste this in town. You take a little something that you find on your bench and you attach it to the tubing. It's the first thing you do in school, always. You grab the diameter, you close it down by attaching a little something to the beginning of the tubing, and you attach it on here just temporarily, and you close the tubing down. This is called, you put a starter point on it. So lamp workers in all the 4 professions, thermometer maker, eyeball maker, laboratory glass blower, or the neon guys, they will buy a tube and close it down. They close it down with a so-called starter point. That thing needs to be done perfect at the very beginning, that starter tip on the tube. Okay, but you know it, I have a 2-liter non-stick tubing in my left hand. There's a little roller yoke at the end of our benches here, it moves in. And then these tubes are started. Now you can put them upside down in the studio and no dirt will ever fall inside. Then you go ahead and you take a little thing off that always looks like this. A nurse told me this looks like a pipette Hans, I used in the hospital. It's not a pipette, this is an East German double point. They need to be picked from the tube by a point picker. Great-grandfather had a point picker. The point picker grabs the tube of choice, back into the fire and takes the thing off. A good point picker picks you 1,000 of them, always the same length. The cylindrical length is set by the point picker, the outer diameter is known by the factory, and the wall thickness too. Okay? And the point picker stretched these pipette-looking things off the tube all day long in my great-grandfather's shop in the corner of the shop. And it's called point picking because it's still on here. Now they need to get taken off, chuck into the thing here, and these guys were flying, a new tube were grabbed, the cold one, and the process continued until these tubes are eaten up. So each time we make a product. The tube gets a little shorter in this town. So we needed to learn how to pick these points from the tubing, and then we learned to blow the stuff with it. A sip of water would be good. I was singing loud yesterday on that church fest. So we blow glass this way, we buy a tube, we take these things off, and this is called the point picking. You need to make them in every size you can imagine before you even start blowing. They existed huge and big in great-grandfather's shop. I knew as long they picked, they're not danger. As long they freshly picked, no danger. As soon the guy cuts them open, the razor blade sharp. I was local, I knew now. Danger, sharp as hell. Tricycle, take him over, boom, in the bucket, and you learn to blow that sucker even. With no optical irritation, even wall thickness. You learn to make 2 exact same ones. With the same evenness, the same roundness, the same inside volume. Not flatter than the other, not rounder than the other. This was challenging us, to make two exact out of one with the same volume, no nipple. No possibility for sedimentation at the inside. This is how the whole gig started. A test tube that makes the chemist not release free his little stuff all, by shaking it a little. No good test tube. So there were certain specifications to hold until the end of the education. Sizes and dimensions, a millimeter longer, the shorter is a tolerance of 3 millimeter in the speed. This is taught at our laboratory glass blowing school. So I learned it, got home, was a good one, but this needed to be learned at the beginning of the career. Now, I would make from this is 2/3 of the work of the finished product, 2 little xenon light bulbs. Hell expensive, Nobody starts a machine under 20,000 little light bulbs. UV lamps and certain custom things made from the modern borosilicate glass. It's a non-conductor electricity. We make beautiful eyeballs too. We make this in order to make that. I need it. Prep work. Okay? You heat it even and blow it into a sphere. He always said sphere, not ball. And so we had to blow the sphere. And this is supposed to be maybe 5 centimeter maximum, but 3 would be also good when they're round. Don't overblow them. And we blew. And of course we overblew them. And we overblew them 1 trillion times, and it took a long time to get the feeling to blow a round ball, even ball, in that 5 centimeter. This happened too often, the disco glitter overblowing it. After 1 year they show you the lick this way, blowing it between the 2 points with a little mirror that helps you seeing the shoulders from the lower end, and then they call it a spinning hand and a blowing hand. From then on, there's no more hand up. This is illegal. It's the most important in this town. You cannot do your job on the bench. You cannot attach and blow. You cannot see. You cannot even blow. Always this way. Never this way. Second year education at school, and then we learned to blow a ball, in between those things, but from then on they already had to have a certain inside volume. Holy cow, 250 milliliter. It's not too big, but we had to blow them between the 2 sticks, and in the end both sticks end up in the bucket. That's how we all do it. Pieces are welcome. We can attach them to the new tube, and the game starts over and over again. Only those paper thin feather light points gonna end up in the bucket. Temporarily connection. You don't need it to look very good here. That's what I learned at school. Walked home from school. Every second fax, in that brand new fax machine. Can you blow a Christmas ball? We're looking for a glass blower who can blow a Christmas ball in front of our cathedral. We also want to start a Christmas market. So these German Christmas markets popped all over Germany, and in 1985, and one fax, gave me the idea. It was saying, can you blow a Christmas ball? Or do you know anybody who can blow a Christmas ball? And the one I knew was Max, great-grandfather. In this town of Precision, nobody blew Christmas stuff ever. I was so much ready to go to that little hippie market, that popped out, because they would give me a free little Hansel and Gretel wooden shack, and I could blow the glass in there if great-grandfather would show me the lick. I knew he did it after the war, and they did it in East Germany, and they rolled the glass over little chunks of colored glass, and it was kind of cheap and easy and clean, no chemicals, and they did it in their basements by using these double points and even the crooked ones, that they took home from the production shops. This looks like a beautiful point from production, you know, when you have it over and over again. And this looks like a little crooked one that I just picked here and started a tube, you know, not good enough for the town of Precision. So they made ornaments from it. Of course, after 5 o'clock in the evening, and you know, this was like the hidden thing. So we cut that end open with my little diamond knife. It's kind of the only tool we really need. The caliper is not a tool, it's a measuring instrument. And cut open, razor blade sharp, and then you blow the thing between the 2 points. And I already told you I picked it up very good because I was a local one. I could pass the quality inspection. Within volume and calibration, the sticker at the right position, and that ground joint fitting attachment with a little quick fit thing was done the right way. So I was good. I struggled a little bit walking home from school. Showed me a Christmas ball. He showed it to me. Great-grandfather became my greatest mentor of my life, you know. He was saying, imagine you can get 5 marks for it in cash. And then he was saying something like, but make sure it fit into the box, boy. And he walked away. I didn't get his joke at this time, you know, how important this became for me in my future life. So make sure it fit into the box, boy. You roll it through the silver colors, you know. He gave me even the points that were not so good. And practice this, so I practiced this. 20 years young, a little shack in front of the cathedral was promised me, and this is an hour south of here. It's the Ulmer Cathedral, the tallest ever built church of the planet. This is where they wanted me, and I howled in, and I did what I show you now in front of the church. I did it on a little market, people walking by. Very first one, 37 years ago. So I had to learn to fire all the colors in with that heat, super hot flame. Blow a little bit, let it soak, and roll it on the new stuff. The new stuff was the black stuff, the graphite. We had a little stony thing in our shops. It was asbestos. But not too many other asbestos fancy things, you know, beside the gaskets at the kilns. This was the new stuff. Max gave me a chunk, you know. Don't take your good old asbestos block, take this. And I took it, and I sat in front of the church, and I did this. I felt like the king. I wasn't better or worse than I'm showing you now. I just could blow that ball, you know, every time. And every time, because there were different box sizes. Say I want to blow a bubble for this box, the little one should not be bigger than 60 millimeter. You needed to have a box for your product, you know, and this was the only specification I have right now. Not even an inside volume or calibration or any attachment done. I blew them just like this. They look like an onion, like an apple, not perfect round, you know, but I could blow them, you know, and I took that point off when I was 20 years young, and people called them unique. First time I ever touched colored glass, you know, at my little hippie van. Took my drum sets out, put some bubbles in, and did them after work, and sold them directly to the customers, not round, not perfect, you know, just like this. Felt like the king himself. Had once in a while even a sale going on, until the little kid came by. The little kid, fully convinced that she can blow the better bubble that I can ever blow because I suck. Probably just like on this one, you know, not round, a little oval, you know. I even showed them that they're strong, you know, these bubbles are stronger. No line, they individual, never the same, no mold, you know, no mold line. Stronger than, you know. Once in a while I blew a nice round one. It was just after school. It takes 10 years to become good on the blowtorch. It's like in any other profession, you're not good after school right away. You blow in that one, I blow in the other one later on. This one I never blow, you know. This is the sharp one, this is the one for you. I'm gonna blow in a razor blade sharp one. Don't inhale, don't suck here, okay? I tell you right away, kid, if you blow bigger, can I get a beer? This is Sunday, my soccer team won. Harry Kane hit 3 times. Come on, Bavaria Munich. Adrian, if you blow bigger than these boxes, you're not going to take anything home. Size matters. This is when the woman started giggling out there, all the mothers for the kid, you know. Needless to tell, the German lady what 10 centimeter is. In the metric system, 10 by 10 by 10, the cubic decimeter, but it was very important to explain a little later in here, this is only 1,000 milliliter of your hot air. That makes a liter. So kid was so much ready to blow the ball, I told him, you know, you blow nice, you take it home for free. You don't need any present anymore, done deal, they were happy. Stash it under your bag. Adrian, size really matters, okay? Not bigger than the box. This is not a blowing competition here. Your sister already blew a big one, you know, she was 2 years younger. This needed to be controlled because real quick you end up in that disco glass at the beginning. But I found a way and I had it down that each kid can blow a bubble. In a little shack in front of the tallest church in the world. So I told you, you know, these guys wanted me back and I rolled maybe the blue on now, blue, green, white, pink. There was some sort of a black, but it wasn't really black, it turned purple. For the black line on certain glass tubings it was used, rolling on the plate became important, and the most important was that little test blow that Adrian, every kid in their own straw, you know, you gotta blow a little and see what you got, kid. So there was kids going, you know. Ah, you blow way too hard. What are you doing here? To each one, scared the hell out of them. Grandma told me to blow so hard. Would be a typical. Don't listen to your grandma. Size matters now. Grandma told me to blow the hell out of it this year. Kid Ann told me. You know, she wants a bigger bubble than last year. Don't listen to grandma. You got to blow way less. This is like throwing a kiss, you know, off the Titanic. Gently, feeling. Look at it. And he blew. See, he figured out how hard to blow here, you know, and this was beautiful little blank, and you know, this is kind of what my great-grandfather always told me, and my dad, they need to look like this before you blow. You can't heat it all and blow the ball, just like at school. Like this is like my startup situation. The same cylindrical lengths, the same outer diameter, marvered down on the graphite, and then it was kind of a guaranteed success to have 5-year-old one do what Adrian is going to do now. Thanks for buying something nice earlier, and I can send this with you, and no problem. Just not bigger than the box, otherwise I sell it in my store and I take you home. So I also told the kids, you know. So gently at the beginning, hard at the end. You don't shoot all your good powders at the very beginning, kid, you know. Keep the choker in your arm. And then the kids were ready, it always worked. And there he was. He's got it down, I feel it. Harder now. All you can blow, off, all. A little more pressure. This is one for lifetime. See, the size is fine. In Australia, look like a bearing, like a nice deer. So that move needed to be done. Blowing ends from the kid, little snap over here. We did it all the time in the lab, you know. Some things look like Sputnik, you know. on those points, cut the other end open, take that one off. Told me my father at the Christmas market already 37 years ago. So now this beautiful in that bucket, no bucket anymore. Here, since the kids were here, too dangerous. I had kids pulling them out again, showing them to me. Bucket over here, boom, one step behind and it's one step back and you throw over here through your arm. No more here, needed to be learned a little new. And of course making nice little loops that the kids could not snap. Working East German style, working with the bows, a little Pyrex hard glass. So there was a nice bubble that little Andrew, hey, Adrian, this is hot, don't touch it. Do not even come close. So what does a 10-year-old one does? Finger bringing, slowly looking at me, you bounce him off, he thinks he's the king anyway. 3 times I bounce him off, then I let him tack it. It's 1,000 Fahrenheit. It's 500 degrees centigrade. So this needs to be parked here. It's a wonderful wall, and we hit the specifications and put some bubble wrap around it, and it goes well, and you make up a little story and tell it to the kids, and maybe in generations later they're going to talk about you because you blew that ball. And it became a little special in my life. Super good job, Adrian. It became a little special in my life, and I'm known for beautiful Christmas things, but only around the Christmas time. The rest of the year, I started making my money with little things from East Germany, the little angels and the icicle. My future wife figured out what would sell. The markets became bigger and bigger.